Just having a look at the back of the CRT to try and work out why the focus control's right over to the left when I get it focused. Usually the focus control should be sort of central to the centre of the knob, you know, a 12 o'clock position to get the best focus. And I can't achieve that. It has to be hard over to one side. I'm just looking at the supply here. We should have minus 1050 volts here, feeding to one end of the intensity pot, which is at the front of the scope, and the other end, so it goes through a 1 meg resistor here, but there should be a 100 volt Zener, so I'd expect to see 100 volts on the cathode. If we go to the cathode, which is HK because it joins the heater and the cathode, so it's HK. It's the, let's have a look, heater cathode, it's the second pin in. If I put that, I'm not going to hold it on for long, but you see the scope showing 1075 volts. So that suggests to me that this Zener, little Zener regulator, isn't working correctly. I don't know if we're overdriving the scope or not, but that can't be right, unless I'm getting something seriously wrong here. So what I'm going to do is try and find that D301 and measure the voltage drop across it and see if it's actually conducting. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a diode here. This Zener here is the 110 volt, 100 volt regulator. That should drop that voltage down to the cathode by the looks of it. So I'm just going to try and measure across that, see what voltage I get with the DVM. So let's just have a look in there, see what we get. $100 volts. Oh, that's good. So okay, that diode is actually conducting correctly. So what I've got to try and do is ascertain why. Let's turn this off. Well, one thing I have noticed when I turned it off, when I was measuring the voltage on the back, it takes a long time, not only for the obviously the final anode to discharge, but the other grids and things. These control grids are all sitting at sort of still a couple of hundred volts after about 5 minutes. So word of warning, anyone's working on one of these. So we've got a regulator circuit seems to be working here, but we don't seem to be dropping this voltage on the cathode. So this is a voltage dividing circuit here. We've got the 1 meg pot, so the two outers of the 1 meg intensity control. We've got this 680k here, 1 meg for the focus, and 2 meg 7. So what I want to do now is I want to check these pot down resistors to see one of these is open, because if one of those is open, this point's just going to float to the full voltage of the supply, that's exactly what it's doing. This supply is sitting at 1000 volts, which means it's not being pulled down to ground, possibly by this resistor here, or maybe the focus pot's open circuit, but I doubt it. So first port of call is to have a look at this resistor here, I think it's R303. Right, I've typically bodged the resistor here in place. Across this resistor here, this 2 meg 7 that looks, where are we? This 2 meg 7 that looks open circuit. Power it up again and just see if we can get the focus into the centre of the display, so we're not having to adjust the focus control fully over. So let's try it, see what happens. There we go, and you can see now the focus control is centre. Let's go to dot mode, turn the brightness down so we don't burn the screen out. Where are we? Come on. It's the centre of the control now. So that was the reason that resistor was burnt out. So that's fixed that problem. Okay, so all the switches are cleaned up. Everything seems to be working really very well actually. I don't think the scope has got an awful lot of hours on it. The main problem was dirty switches, a very slight calibration needed to the sweep speed to get the time bit correct. You see it's running in resistor J mode now for all those Doctor Who fans. It's got a lovely sharp display. It seems very stable, and the contacts on the switches have seemed to clean up quite nicely with just a squirted service oil. Show you a few patterns on the display, but not really much to show. The scope's in a nice nick actually. I don't think there's going to be any problems with it in use at all, to be honest with you. There's not a lot you can do with the resistor J mode on these, because the X and Y is fed into the external trigger and channel 1 of the scope, whereas on a normal scope it's channel 1 and channel 2, so you can expand it in the horizontal and vertical. But I can't see how you can do it other than increasing the amplitude. I suppose I need to increase the amplitude. There we go. So no, it works well. It's in nice condition, and probably never get used, but it's a nice piece of kit that sort of deserves to be restored, I think, personally. These old teleequipment scopes were bought out by Tektronix in the 70s, so obviously Tektronix thought they were a good company. It's a shame it's another British company that was sold to a not so upset it's the American company, but I mean a lot of the British companies have been sold to the Chinese and things now, but this scope works lovely, and I'm very pleased with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. This ends the series on the Tektronix D66A.